fakes it. See this? It's not skinny. This is like my 3-month pregnant thing. I am so jealous when you were like, hey, I gained weight and I got boobs. No, I didn't. I did not get boobs. This little bit is a bra. It's not even a good one. But the thing is that I think everybody knows, because so I breastfed, and they're like, I went to all the classes, and they're like, you know what? It's a lie that breastfeeding fucks up your boobs. That is not a lie. And I know that they know this, because all of a sudden, my ads, when my kid hit 2, were all for get boob implants. It's like, I know, they sucked the life out of them. That was true. But, I was saying this. Now, the thing about me is that I was taking crazy meds. And we don't call them crazy. But when you put me in the hospital, I say they get to be crazy meds. But the side effect of crazy meds were that they made me lactate. So I had extra big tits. It's the only time I've ever had tits. I'm so proud. I took this photo of myself one time with boobs. They were like, I am so proud. I want to post this everywhere. Unfortunately, I'm topless. I have shown people though, and they're like, oh wow. They're like, is this what you actually look like? It's like, no. No. That was like 2 years ago, no. They are flat and low. Without this bra, they go to about here. And people are like, oh, that's just what having kids were. No, my first one I did not get to breastfeed. And I was so sad. I was like, I'm falling apart. My boobs stayed perky. They were nice. There was some benefits. Also, when they do this whole thing about your boobs, they're like, oh, it's a wonderful, breastfeeding is so beautiful. It's a bond for the child. It is. It sucks for your fucking partner. Because it's like, no. Those things do not belong to you. Don't touch them. And there's a little bit of jealousy that comes from your kid when they start to talk, going, Mommy, I love your boobies. Mommy, I love you and your boobies. My husband's face falls. He's like, what the hell? He's like, I haven't gotten to touch it. I'm like, they hurt. They're for him. When they were at their most beautiful, by the way, when they were big and pretty, yeah, those were hard as rocks. It was like, these are not fun things. Do not touch them, ever. And I mean, don't hug them, don't be near, they hurt. Unless you have if you want to suck them, but that isn't your thing and it's kind of gross for my husband to do, there is nothing else you can do with these things. I'm sorry, the kid was away, it was our one night alone. It was like, oh, this sucks. It was like, this sucks. And then they're done. But yes. The other thing I was looking at, did anyone see there's a Winehouse experience going? They're going to have it at downtown, over at some, Harlow's. They're having the Winehouse experience. And I'm going, I thought that was outside at the park. Yeah, Amy Winehouse. They're like the Amy Winehouse experience. Not the music, they're like the Amy Winehouse experience. Okay, that was college. I mean, there was so much fucking heroin in Portland. I just thought that was, I got that. And I was just, and I've been around the Winehouse experience, but I was with this guy who was 18, and I had perky titties, okay? And he really insulted me. Because we were fooling around and he didn't get hard at all. It's like, what's up? Are things okay? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I just did too much heroin, so I can't get it up. And he got mad at me. He was like, well, I was like, can you have told me this before? And he's like, you are judging me. You're thinking I'm just a heroin addict just because I do heroin. I want you to know. He's like, I want you to know I only have clean needles. Oh my God. Okay. But what really angers me about this guy, I really wanted to talk, I saw him on the street once, but I haven't talked to him since then. But heroin, you go down fast. You go from college student to homeless in like a month. I was like, shit, that is fast. I was like, wow. But the one thing is that he was like, you're judging me. He was like, I did not stop fucking him because of that. not like really fun. He sucked good pussy. Like, we can work with this. Don't worry, this is not a problem. Portland was fun. By the way, like somebody saw me, I was wearing my college shirt, and he's like, oh, my wife went there. I was like, yeah, Reed. He's like, yes, you notice it's naked Trustafarians who do coke. I'm like, no, that is insulting. On the news, we were doing heroin, okay? We had 3 heroin overdoses. It was fucking Portland. It was interesting being around really, really rich kids who, like, on top of tuition, were given like $7,000 just to do whatever they want with.
Wow.
And then, they were eating out of the trash cans. And that was the big thing. Like, dumpster diving was huge. Like, if you got invited to eat at someone's house, most of the time it came out of a dumpster. And then, like, because you had to use the money for drugs. And see, I came out of that, and like one time I was with a guy who was like, why don't you want to try this? Like, why don't you do drugs? You hang out. I was like, you are the best fucking anti-drug commercial I've ever seen in my life. Like, I have seen the movies, I'm like, I have seen this shit. You want to touch it? And they're like, it's really fun. I'm like, yeah. But the one thing that I do want, I've thought about this. We don't have doctor-assisted suicide here. At least you have to wait 10 days. I learned this. And you gotta go to the doctor. It's a pain in the ass. If I get there, when I have to go, we need to keep some heroin dealers on the corners. Because like for old people, when you need it just to end, it's like, why do you have to go to the doctor? Get an 8-ball. Just go out in style. Like, that would be my only time ever doing this. It's like, okay, I have 6 months to go. I'm getting an 8-ball. Nobody has to wipe my ass. I'm good. Well, they might, but they'll just be picking me up off the side of the road.
Are you saying this in front of me? 3-month-old right now?
I was joking. I was talking with my husband, and I was like,
you told me to bring my
like open mics, there's just a bunch of people talking about dicks and pussy. He's like, oh, puss in boots. It's like, do not talk like that. I'm like, oh, oopsie. I did also on selective, on the news thing, like when they send you ads on Facebook, they sent me a Christmas book called Hookers and Blow. Hookers and Blow Save Christmas. So, Hookers and Blow Save Christmas. And I told my Christian brother-in-law, and he got pissed at me. I'm kind of proud. I'm the kind of parent that Amazon thinks would like Hookers and Blow Save Christmas. By the way, it's not a very fun book. It's actually just a builder, like a snow blower. Not even about real hookers. There's no coke.
Oh my God.
But could try snorting it off that. But I don't know how to. I saw this shit come around. That's why I don't do drugs. I've seen those people. And then, what else? I don't know. So, trying to think of anything else.
Are you really pregnant?
No.
Oh.
I want another kid. And my little 3-year-old's been like, I want a sister. I want a baby sister to kiss her. And I want he would actually not kill her, he would kill us. And the thing is about, like, what cracks me up is my first, I went crazy. And it took 2 years of mental hospitals and drugs and all sorts of shit. And my husband still, after that, was like, you know what? I think we can do another one. Now, my second, do you know that there's benefits to going to the mental hospital? Your kid reaches a certain fear. Like, my first, stays close, and he watches, my second will run right into the streets at all times. He just runs off. He does not care. He does not listen. He licked the floor at the ER. He's just that way. And we did COVID, and my husband was working from home, and he was just screaming at the top of his lungs. And my husband's like, but he's been healthy and everything's been good. I was like, I can't handle another fucking child. This 3-year-old is still not out of our bed. No, I don't want another one. But I just laugh because he's still like, and I do, but I don't think we can handle more than 2 children. So when we have our baby, as much as my 3-year-old wants a little sister, we have to get rid of him. Like, it's not, I'm not choosing a preference. There's only so much space in the bed, and the older one's easier to deal with. So, but yes, no, and by the way, when I had my last baby, I really thought, once I went into labor, I was like, oh fuck, I made a mistake. This was a huge mistake. The pain hit. After I give birth, I was like, let's do IVF so we can save eggs. So we can do this every 5 years forever. That was the attitude the nurse had. And Brett was like, I just thought you were in a postpartum. I just thought you were in I was like, you're crazy, you just gave birth. But now I seriously am like, I want to do this. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Yeah, like I was like, we could, because his work covers the cost of doing it. And he's like, that doesn't save money. It's like, there's no way. It's like, the kid's gonna be, and I'm like, oh, just one. Wouldn't you like to have a baby at 50? Wouldn't that be fun? And he's like, no, I'm not. So, that's it. So, thank you.
You're young for husband.
Very much.
Eva Schwartz, everybody. Eva Schwartz.